morning show, Rickey Smiley, the morning show, 10 minutes after the hour. Y'all got your front page. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone. The Front Page News is brought to you by Urban One. We have the power to change the course of history. Make sure your voice is heard with your one vote. Go to newsone.com/vote to register to vote. Alrighty, here's your Front Page News. A lot happened over this post-holiday weekend. The 4th of July holiday weekend across the U.S. was cut short by violence and shootings. More than 67 people in Chicago were shot and at least 13 were killed, including a 7-year-old little girl and a 14-year-old boy. And in Atlanta, an 8-year-old girl was shot and killed near a Wendy's where Rashad Brooks was killed by police just a few weeks ago. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom of Atlanta said that she wants people to have the same passion towards ending community violence that they have for police reform. Okay, those are two different issues, but I'm gonna let her live. Shootings also took place in Detroit, in Memphis, in Baltimore, in Philadelphia, and in St. Louis. In other news, hospitalizations for coronavirus is up in 5 states, including Arizona, Texas, California, South Carolina, and Nevada. At least 2 counties in South Texas have reached full capacity. Meanwhile, Florida continues to break records. Florida now has over 200,000 cases, Ricky, putting them right behind New York and California with the highest numbers of cases in the U.S. But there is some good news. After battling coronavirus for nearly 1 month, a Houston woman just gave birth to healthy triplets, 2 girls and 1 boy. Congratulations to the new family. That was a quick look at your headline news. Rock T, I know you got something for me in sports, my brother.
You already know, Eva Fashiba. 3 minority owners of the Washington Redskins are seeking to sell their shares in the team because they are not happy being partners with owner Daniel Snyder. They own 40% of the team combined. Pressure from the public is also warning the Redskins to change their nickname, saying it's disrespectful to our Native Americans, given the national focus on human rights and social justice. So we'll see what happens right there. NBA teams, the Milwaukee Bucks, Sacramento Kings, Denver Nuggets, Miami Heat, Los Angeles Clippers, and the Brooklyn Nets have all shut down facilities for workouts due to receiving positive of recent round of coronavirus testing results. Man, I still don't think the NBA, this new season they're going to launch this month, is going to actually make it all the way to the end, man. That's just my personal opinion. This thing is getting crazy. Last but not least, man, this is probably some of the best news that I heard over the weekend. 5-star high school basketball recruit Makur Maker was expected to commit to UCLA. He was also being heavily recruited by Kentucky.
By Kentucky? All right. Rock.
I got to get this out. He made his official commitment. He will be attending Howard University. This makes him the highest-ranked college prospect to commit to an HBCU. Big up to Makur Maker, man. It's going down real big. There it is, man. Gary, what you got?
Nice.
All right, I couldn't enjoy the story here because it was cut in the middle. But anyway, good morning, Ricky. All right, y'all. Now, baby, everybody's still talking about what happened last week when recording artist, y'all, August Alsina, honey, decided to let the world know that, yes, honey, I'm coming out with my new album titled Production 3, State of Emergency, and he confirmed, y'all, that he let Jada Pinkett Smith and her wonderful husband, Will Smith, he let them know, listen, honey, I'm going to tell y'all all the tea. I'm going to still let y'all remember that I was Jada Pinkett Smith's side piece. He said, I'm letting y'all know about it, and I'm going to let the world know. So, honey, Miss Pinkett is trying to get in touch with this boy. But Eva, I done told y'all women, men are acting worse than women now. Y'all can't even give her a side piece no more because how he talking. What happened to the man
I tell you, he's so reckless for this. I'm not saying that anything happened. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. But there needs to be a level of discretion when it comes to what happens in the bedroom. Like, leave the bedroom in the bedroom. That's no one else's business.
Right.
It's just sad, though. Ricky, y'all need to teach a class to these young guys. Just hush your mouth. Don't even talk about it in a barbershop. Let these
That's a whole different generation, man.
Yeah,
a whole different generation.
These young boys is young girls now.
They little skinny, tight jean wearing, staring down in their phones all day. Weird hoodie, backpack. They just weird, man.
Overly emotional.
It hurts my
they come out of space. They have to be rocked with sleep. Won't do no yard work. Scared of mosquitoes.
They cry.
Right. I guess the point is, what is the point?
I swear they from another planet.
Yes,
They got to be doing this to try to sell this album, right?
But that's not enough to sell the album, no,
Roxy. That's not cool.
Say what, Brett?
That's not cool. Don't do it at Jada's discretion. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put other people in jeopardy and like, if you want to sell a record, jump off a building, do something crazy, but don't bring other people in it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they not trying to talk about something that's private. Like, that is so childish. It's so petty.
Very. And if a woman cheats, she should be able to cheat and not people know about it. Hell, men cheat on the regular, so we all gonna know about it because they put it out in the streets. But nevertheless,
Gary, this is not even cheating. This is just a man talking his mouth too much about what happened in a bedroom between him and someone else consensual. This isn't even cheating. This is just like no one else's business.
girl, y'all better
and it
check
should have
all
stayed
of it.
that way.
It should have.
Talk about it, Brad.
We're going to pray, honey.
Exactly.
All right, the cooler. Oh, it's a great cooler. The cooler today, y'all, is one of my favorite coolers. My cooler today, y'all, is silverfish. On the high end, you say silverfish. On the low end, you say beautiful bird. That's your cooler for today. Brad, what's up next in the hot spot, baby?
Man, coming up in the hot spot, Kanye West announces the 2020 presidential run. Lord have mercy. Pray for us all. Tell y'all about it in the hot spot, y'all. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hot spot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and that's hot.
You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
That is y'all, 29 minutes before the top of the hour. Y'all, Brad got your hot spot brought to you by...
Brought to you by that Church's Chicken, man. If every day feels just like the last, put some flavor in it. Meet Church's new $5 campfire smokehouse chicken. Crackling campfire flavor that's bold to the bone. Plus mashed potatoes and a biscuit. Church's, bringing that down-home flavor. Offer valid at participating locations. Bring it to Tat. What you got there, girl?
I swear every time you do that commercial, I get hungry. I be wanting some chicken so bad. Good morning, everybody.
That commercial to the bone.
Yes! I'm thinking about some Church's chicken and a scrambled egg. Lord have mercy. Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brad Tat, and this is the Hot Spot, where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into this thing. Kanye West has officially announced that he plans to run for president in 2020. He tweeted, "We must now realize the promise of America by trusting God, unifying our vision, and building our future." He said, "I'm running for president of the United States, hashtag 2020 vision." Ooh, Lord have mercy. And Kanye's friend, rapper 2 Chainz, revealed that he plans to vote for Kanye, and a bunch of reality stars also said that they will be voting for Kanye. One girl, Masika Kalisha, said, "I'm voting for Kanye, period." She said, "Kanye is way smarter than y'all think, and his wife ain't no dummy. Pay attention." What do y'all think about this?
Okay, they forgot about Kanye up on the desk in the Oval Office, tickling Trump's. You know what?
Right.
Keep on playing with this election like it's a toy.
It's
Keep
so
on playing
not a
with it.
joke. Oh my God.
Yeah, because one thing you can't do, you can't afford to divide the vote like that. We need every vote count, and we need every single vote.
Yes, Rick.
And for him to be an idiot like that and just do something like that to just kind of mess up everything, man. You know, we have to vote a Democratic ticket to get Donald Trump out of office, because Kanye split up the Democratic vote like that is just the way to keep Trump getting 4 more years, and then it would
It's
be
irresponsible.
Kanye West has absolutely no chance to win at all whatsoever. So a vote for him is a wasted vote. Even if he was a Democratic nominee,
It's a vote for Trump.
And people don't understand that, Ricky. People don't understand that. Like when they voted for Jill Stein during the last election, she had no chance of winning. So you literally just split the Democratic vote, and we needed those votes not to get Trump in office. So explaining how you split that vote is so important. It's so important.
And for other people to come out and say that they're going to support him, that's irresponsible on their part. And it makes the work that we out here doing that much harder.
Exactly.
Lord have mercy. Well, we got to do what Gary say. Keep everybody uplifted in prayer, and pray that this does not happen, and somebody can discourage him from doing this, because it does so many negative things opposed to what he's supposedly trying to do. I wonder why he hasn't thought about that. Like, it's going to split the vote. Anyway, y'all, we're going to wrap up the hot spot right there. I'm going to be back later to tell y'all some more good old news and all that stuff. But coming up, we got Rock T's Joke of the Day. The time now is 26 before the top of the hour, and in the meantime, in between time, hit us up for them wake-up calls. It's 1-866-9-RICKY. That's 1-866-9-RICKEY. Y'all, it's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
all right. It's about that time. Joke of the day. Joke of the day. Joke of the day.
Got a good feeling about this one.
I got a good feeling too.
Joke of the day. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Special K, what up? I'm sorry, Rock Team. I mean, I get them mixed up because they jokes.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't say it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I got a good feeling about this one, Rock.
Good one. Oh, God.
So the teacher asked his students to use the word definitely in a sentence. So Jane raises her hand first and says, the sky is definitely blue. Teacher said, no, Jane. That is wrong because the sky is gray sometimes. Then Jack raises his hand and said, trees are definitely green. Once again, the teacher said, no, trees turn different colors with the seasons. Little Johnny raises his hand and asks the question, do farts have lumps? The teacher said, no, Johnny. Then I definitely pooed my pants.
All right.
Boy, he went back to the 80s for that one.
All right.
That was so fresh in 1989.
I remember hearing that in high school, right?
Yeah.
Did it take that long
thing
for
was
them
killing
to
in
get to the
89,
punchline in
boy.
high school?
Oh, boy, that thing was killing.
That was funny, Rock T.
That was funny when Reagan was president.
Well, there you go again. All right, y'all, boy, Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up. Hey, we got Dr. MJ Collier, man, giving you the coronavirus updates and how you can stay safe. You don't want to miss that. Up next. Hey, the remix, man, Tony Braxton and Missy Elliott, do what you need to do. 27 minutes after, I'm sorry. The hell am I looking at? Oh, we got Dr. MJ Collier. Dr. MJ Collier, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey Smiley, and I hope you had a great holiday because the coronavirus didn't take one.
It sure didn't at all, man, and the numbers are skyrocketing.
The numbers are skyrocketing. You know, it was May 20th when they started lifting restrictions on all the states, and that was when we had blunted the curve and stopped the increases, and cases were down to less than 2,000 per day. And now they have skyrocketed, and yesterday we had 49,000 new cases. But last week we topped that. We had over 50,000. So the numbers are increasing. And now the actual numbers, I believe, to be much higher, but due to a couple of factors. One is the testing shortage still, and then many cases are unreported to this date. So the United States now, we're number one. We've become the worst affected country since we reopened up, and worldwide now we are exceeding, even though we have underdeveloped countries or even third world countries that are doing much better with this coronavirus than we are doing. So that is a real problem. The U.S. has been, growing because of the relaxed restrictions now. And guess what, Ricky? The New York Times came out with some new federal data that shows we already were aware of this, but this is hard research data now, that blacks and Latinos are disproportionately affected across the United States, not just in certain areas. It can be urban, it can be suburban, it can be rural, and we still are 3 times more likely to become infected than our white counterparts and twice as likely to die from the virus. So this is impacting us as a people without question. And, you know, what we're finding now, too, is that some of these people are not getting over the disease in 2 weeks. This is not just a respiratory virus now. It is a total body assault. And individuals are having extended periods of time, months and months, and they may require treatment subsequently. So they're using a couple of drugs. We know about remdesivir, and they have another one that has been used for the treatment of HIV previously. And they are doing studies treating people who have not recovered from their symptoms after, a few months, and they're treating them and getting great responses from them. So that's where we are with the coronavirus now. We don't have any breakthrough treatments, of course. We still don't have a vaccine, but the remdesivir, which is giving some benefit, is in very, very short supply now. A lot of hospital systems have run out of that treatment. So, and now they're just getting to the point where the illnesses and the death rates are going to increase, and it's going to overwhelm our healthcare system.
Oh, wow. Dr. Collier, so do you think that they're going to shut everything back down like it was, when the coronavirus first came out? Or is that what they need to do? What do you think?
I think they're going to have to start implementing. You know, most states have that are having increase in their rates have slowed down, if you will, and limited their reopenings and even backed up somewhat. But we're worse now than we have ever been, and that's being considered. But our leadership from the top is not telling us that's what they want to do. They still, again, I state unequivocally, there seems to have been a conscientious decision to just let this happen, and those people that are going to get sick and die are going to get sick and die, because we're just not doing anything that would treat them in the appropriate manner to stop that from happening. And so we are, I'm flabbergasted as to why this is happening. But the science and what's being recommended by the Centers for Disease Control and the World Health Organization is being totally ignored by those in leadership. And you're just saying, go out and do, be happy. People are going to get over it. I think you heard your president quoted this week as saying most of 99% of the cases are mild and have no consequences, even though, the death rates are now going back up as well. I have to say that the case rates have shot up exponentially. The death rates are not so much as of yet. Part of that is that we know much more about it now, and we can treat people more effectively, even with the conservative therapists that we have, and they are actually treating people and not just saying go home and self-quarantine for 14 days. So they are aggressively treating people, even with mild cases now, because, they're seeing what's happening. But that is impacting the death rate. But how much is enough? How many people dying is enough? That's the question. We had 242 people die in the United States yesterday.
Right.
If it was somebody you know and love, you'd be a little disenchanted with that process.
Right. Dr. Carly, let everybody know how you can be reached for more information on COVID.
Okay, for more information on COVID, you can reach me on my website, lifeforjobs.com, where we have a page specifically talking about boosting your immune system. And again, these are the opinions of Dr. MJ Collier, not those of the Rickey Smiley Morning Show or its radio listening affiliates.
There it is, y'all. The one and only Dr. MJ Collier, y'all. Gary got the tea in the floor today. Coming up, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Hold it. He's half man, half woman.
It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, y'all. Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 4 minutes after the hour, y'all.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Monday, a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Lizzo, y'all, the world is talking about it. And people are saying that it's probably a rumor, but wherever there's rumors, there's some truth, y'all, that the CDC may be looking for Miss Lizzo, honey. Now, they say she gave a beautiful 4th of July weekend mask-free pool party. Now, Lizzo said it was for her and some of her girlfriends, honey. She said, but everybody at the pool party, honey, was checked for COVID. She said everybody was COVID-free. But a lot of people are saying, girl, when did you take the test then? And when did you plan the party? Because you can't take the test right now, huh? And then you could.
Yes, you can.
Huh?
If you have the money, yes, you can. I was actually just in Los Angeles, and I have some friends that do way better than me, and they have been testing the people that work with them. They can send someone to your house and take the test immediately and get results immediately. So she most likely just spent the money so she could have a party.
Well, honey, I just had surgery, baby, and they told me I took the test on Monday. They said if you hear from us by Wednesday, don't come and have the surgery. So they had to take a couple of days. So I guess that's at the charity hospital. I don't know, but nevertheless, honey, I had to do what I had to do, child. So congratulations, Lizzo, honey. And she was mask free and all. But could you imagine in a pool with a mask on, swimming, honey? You can't see who they are in front of you and stuff. And you just start touching everything. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, moving on. In other celebrity news, y'all, the prayer warriors are being solicited. Y'all, let's continue to pray, y'all. If y'all haven't heard the shocking news, let's continue to pray, y'all, for Michael Strahan, Sarah, and y'all, Miss Kiki Wyatt. I don't know if y'all heard the shocking news, but their show, honey.
Kiki Palmer.
Kiki Palmer, honey. Their show, honey, on ABC was canceled.
That was a great show. What do you mean? They didn't have ratings?
Well, they didn't have no ratings, but then, Ricky, I think, honey, my thing is they probably let Michael go for a good little while. Michael was the great white hope. And they, they let him go for a little while doing all these television shows and whatever. And people probably just say we're sick of him. And,
Well, he'll be fine. Because he does good on the NFL channel. He's on ESPN all the time. He's a sports analyst. He can easily get another show, a cooking show or whatever. Maybe that show wasn't a good fit for him, but Michael Strahan gonna always work.
Yeah,
and you know what, Ricky? They said that they were in fear of, because of coronavirus with GMA being shot at home, they were fear that the ratings were going to go down, but they did not go down. The ratings went up. So why they canceled it, we don't know, because it was not the numbers.
They put another show, too, honey, in place of them. So evidently,
I saw that.
They had another show sitting right there in the can, baby. Let's just take that right on out, honey, put it here. Michael got 50 shows.
Steve with Kelly Clarkson. They be...
Huh? Nah. Okay, they give y'all so many
nobody
jobs.
get excited about Hollywood.
Yeah, well, so we're going to see, honey, but bless his soul, yeah, Michael, he's going to do fine. He got 6 more to shows, honey. And, you know, there you go. All right, my final story, y'all. People are really talking about this now. Offset, y'all, he asked the judge, y'all, he's begged and pleaded to a judge to give his 4-year-old daughter his last name. Now, they're saying, you know, Offset has a daughter, honey, with another woman. The daughter's name is Kalia. And they're saying that he and his, they had the child together. And, you know, the mom, you know, she was a dancer or what have you. But nevertheless, he said he wants his 4-year-old daughter to have his last name. Now, Cardi B has her daughter, Culture, who has the last name. And they also say that Offset has held 2 more other sons with other women and stuff. But he said that his the baby mama, she said her name is, they call her Shalamore. That's her stage name if y'all know her. But she said she just wanted a little bit more money, a little bit more child support money. And Offset, hell, I'm paying you enough as it is. So, but now, honey, he just want to go ahead and take his daughter and give her the last name or whatever. And I guess they bickering over that situation and stuff, though. But, I mean, if the woman asks for a little bit more money, I'm sure she just probably need a little bit more help, because they did label Offset as a millionaire. So, I mean, I'm sure, you know, he could help her out with. And then with Cardi B being also a millionaire would help, I'm sure they could have
Now,
given
Cardi B money don't have nothing to do with.
Oh, yes, it does.
Wow.
Yes, it does.
Wow.
When a man marries a woman, honey, it's our money.
Man.
Oh, now it's our money, Gary.
Well, that's how it goes. When you marry somebody, honey, I never get. When I was in the nursing field, my manager, she was getting married to a man, honey. He didn't have that much money, and you know she had her share of money, but honey, her money had to become his money. He had a slew of children,
Right,
and
but
she
he
had to
make
take her
enough money to pay her, don't he? So if he make enough money to pay her what she want, why they got to tap into Cardi B's money?
Well, that's the
And
whole
when you
thing.
make that much money, you have what you call a prenuptial agreement
well,
about
some
the
of
money. Yeah, at that point you do, for sure.
Yeah, well, my thing is, honey, so just get that woman her money, and the baby gonna have the last name. You know, that kind of bothered me a little bit too. Because when I was born, my dad didn't have enough gas to get to the hospital to sign the birth certificate, so I had to go to my mom's maiden name. And, you know,
Shut up, Gary.
it's the truth. That's why y'all don't know my last name when y'all try to visit me. I'm see, because I got a couple of them. So, but anyway, congratulations to all parties that's involved with that situation.
Oh, Gary, that's your
A couple of them.
I bet you one thing, no, honey, Ricky ain't saying it, but you know those Smileys, baby, because they all get the last name. So I wish I was Smiley.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm changing my name to Smiley.
Yes, Lord. So, all right, the Kahlua today, honey, is one of my favorite Kahluas. My Kahlua today, y'all, is silverfish. On the high end, you say silverfish, and on the low end, just be nice, beautiful, gray. That's your Kahlua for today.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, y'all give it up for Gary with the T. I got you. 8669 with the 8669 RICKEY. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. 13 minutes after the hour, y'all. I know it was some 4th of July clapbacks. Everybody had. My 4th of July was actually great. Of course, my sister was late with the meat. I gave her my smoker because her fiance, he grilled way better than me, so I let them do the meat. I just do the baked beans. But shout out to my cousin Kim for that baked bean recipe with that garlic in it, and it was just absolutely the best baked beans. We totally killed it. So I hope everybody had everybody 4th of July was good.
Oh, yeah. We just did a Juneteenth spread along, you know, so we don't really do 4th of July. We just celebrated Juneteenth again.
Right, Brett, Gary.
Yeah, we just had a chef. Chef Nell came through and hooked up some stuff. We had some brunch. We had eggs and the shrimp Creole, shrimp gumbo. We had all kinds of stuff. They had lamb chops.
4th of July backyard barbecuing?
No, I ain't do none of that. We did a little different. This COVID done changed everything, Rick. You don't want to have nobody over. You don't want to go over nobody's house.
I see what you're saying.
You know, I just laid low.
Right,
man. My friends, the Greeks, honey, had me a post-birthday cake.
Gary had lap dances, Ricky.
Oh, it was so. I was so hurt.
What?
Yes.
I was dancing, Ricky, on my knees. It just drove
Are
me
you
crazy.
serious, Gary? Why you ain't call me?
I didn't like
Somebody
that.
did a lap dance for you, Gary?
It was a couple of them, Ricky. It was like 3 women. I just couldn't take that. I mean, you know, I'm a regular.
Ava.
Brett, y'all should have saw him. Gary folded up on me one night at the strip club. I took him to Dallas Gentlemen.
Oh, that was even worse.
Me, Gary, and Juicy went to the strip club, and the women would say, "Hey, Gary went to see this, started hugging him with no shirt on." And he said, "Get him off me! Get him off me!"
It was just like yesterday. I don't want nothing to happen. So I just want you
Terrified.
Man, I'm trying to make a man out of you, man. I'm trying to get this thing turned around. We still got time, girl.
Oh, no, Lord. Oh, my God, that was a mess.
He
Long
want
as
nothing
them
to
all
happen.
did that.
What you say,
What's
Rick?
gonna happen?
We're trying to get him turned around. You know what I'm saying? We still got a chance. Gary can have him a wife and some kids, man. Right. Boy,
That just hurt me.
I got your wake-up calls. Get at me 8669 Ricky Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. 24 minutes after the hour. Time for the wake-up calls. Here we go.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's time to get yourself together. Cause they woke you up this morning, slid you in your house, shoes up and be better. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Encourage each other and be productive. The Rickey Smiley Morning Show, wanna know where you calling from, so come on and tell us and just wake up.
Good morning. My name is Ruby Matthews, and I'm from Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. And I would like to give a wake-up call to my auntie Linda Gaines George and my daughter Nakendra Tillman. Wake up, girl. Let's get this. Let's go.
Good morning. This is Kia from Toledo. I like to say good morning, entire radio station. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Asha, Kimi, and Elijah, and DeMar.
It's Curtis, calling from Louisville, Kentucky. I like to say, wake up, wake up, wake up.
This is Tish. I'm calling from Utah, Oklahoma, and I want to wake up my minister, Carolyn Hicks. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Listening on your radio. It's a whole gang of cities tuned in, lock in. What's yours? Cause we gon' let them know. Come on, Huntsville, wake up. Chattanooga, wake up. And Shreveport, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Where you at, Jackson? Wake up. Savannah, wake up. And Charleston, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
I appreciate it, Brett. 25 minutes after the hour, y'all. This segment is being brought to you by National Vision. That's right. Wake Up Calls are being brought to you by America's Best. Your health is our priority. America's Best contacts and eyeglasses stores are open now to safely serve your vision needs. And not just a better deal, it's America's Best. 25 minutes after the hour, y'all. Church in 60 seconds with Pastor Fred. Up next. Y'all want to miss it? Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Fred.
Oh, Brother Rickey. Yeah. So good to see all of the patriarchs here. And the Rickey Smiley Church here. Got to see Brother Gary here with us this morning, and Brother Rock T and Mother Eve over there. Brother Rickey, I found myself in a position that almost made me come out of myself. I very seldom get pushed in ways that I don't understand, you know. Oh, but I found myself coming back. Oh, somebody say come back. Come back. Somebody say come back. Come back. Brother Rickey, I was thinking, some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, Jesus, if it ain't you, Jesus, if I ain't got you, Jesus, Brother Rickey, no Jesus, no nothing. I'd rather have Jesus than silver and gold. That's what that little boy Curtis Franklin said. Yes, but you know somebody's out there. They ain't got a whole lot. But I told myself, ain't got no money, ain't got no fancy car. Don't live the life of a millionaire or a movie star. Then I said, don't need no diamonds, don't need no pearls. Long as I got you, Jesus, you're the king of the world. I got nothing but love for you, Jesus. I got nothing but love. Say yeah.
All right, Pastor Fred, let everybody know how you can be reached.
You can follow me at the real Pastor Fred.
Boy, it ain't nothing like some quick church, man. Hey, listen, man, Chicken and Waffle Mix is coming up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, Black Thunder, what's going on?
Hey, Rick.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Rick. Hey, Shawty, happy belated or 4th of July, Shawty.
Yeah, happy belated. Yeah.
Hey, Shawty, you getting tough with Evil though?
Yeah, it's right here.
I need a lawyer, son. I'm in trouble. I think I'm in trouble, son. I think I done messed up, son. I was all hyped up and happy about the 4th of July weekend, son. I'd rather have me a little party and everything. I think I'm in trouble, son. I think I'm finna go to jail. I think I'm finna be on chain gang, son.
What?
I need your husband number.
Well, what did you do? Because, you know, they're different kind of lawyers.
Your husband's still a lawyer.
Yeah, but what kind of lawyer do you need, Black Tony?
I need a lawyer to get you out of trouble, lawyer. I need somebody who get me out of trouble. Hey, Rick.
What happened? Yeah.
I've been, since January. I might not have told you. I might have told you. I might not have told you because I might have did not told you. Right. I've been selling tickets for the cruise, for the Rickey Smiley cruise since January. So I've been selling discount tickets. I've been selling them since January, and these folks starting to want their money back. So I ain't got these folks money.
They blowing your phone up.
I thought I sold 1,500 tickets. So.
How much money did you get from the people?
I sold them for $150 a piece.
So these people thought they were going to go on a cruise for $150.
Yeah, I told them I was the plug. I told them I was the plug for the low.
So what they talking about putting you in jail? They called the police.
Oh no, so these folks want their money back. I ain't got the money. I've been spent that money. I spent all that money. I spent that money as soon as I got it. So.
Oh, man.
Hey, Rick,
for you. Yeah.
You let me hold $27,000.
Well, you crazy as hell. And they crazy as hell for spending money with you like that. $150 for a cruise. You know something went right with that.
I know, but I told you you told me I could do it. I mean, I might have told him that. I might not have. Hey
man, you going to jail, Black Tony?
I'm saying, might as well. I put your name on there.
I ain't going. Hey, nah.
The hell you say?
I ain't
be cellmate.
No,
we be there together, so. But I got your back. You got my back. So do we good? You
fight. Y'all ain't gonna have me locked up in Lulu. No, sir. Let it out, dog. Go on, cry it out, man. Cause you going to jail.
I ain't crying because I'm scared. I'm just crying because I'm stressed. I'm just stressed out.
Let it out, dog. Go on, cry, dog. Man up.
You can't let me hold on to that $27,000.
Nah, son, not none of it. All that 22. Friday after next money gone.
You let me hold 15.
No, dog, nothing. I ain't got nothing for you. No, dog. Hey, have a nice day, Black Tony.
He said, let me hold 1,500.
Rickey Smiley morning show, baby.
Hold it. Half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T.
It's Gary, baby.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley morning show. 5 minutes after the hour. Gary has the tea and the clue of the day. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning to you. It's Monday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Will Smith has finally, broke his silence. Now, he's saying, y'all, that he's never gave his beautiful wife, Miss Jada Pinkett Smith, the approval, y'all, to start an affair with August Alsina. Now, the singer-songwriter had previously claimed, y'all, that he had a physical, consensual relationship with Pinkett Smith under her husband's approval. Now, Smith representatives are calling that claim wrong. Now, they're saying that Smith and his wife, Jada, were married in 1997 and believed to have been in an open relationship for quite some time over the years. Now, they're saying, y'all, controversies popped up here and there, and they always, y'all, believe it always was said as soon as they arrived. Alsina claims, however, they said are a different story altogether. But my thing is, isn't that sad? That man got to get out and speak out about it. What is the world coming to? I mean, because it's just amazing that this is really becoming a story, which we heard about it a while back ago. Now it's really becoming a big story. So y'all think that maybe she did have an affair?
No matter what happened, it's not the world's business. That is a personal issue. If they did work something out or if they didn't, it's not the world's business. That is something very private, and I think he should keep his little feelings to himself, kind of like, and unless they talk about discussing it publicly together.
Yeah, but you know, like the old folks used to always say, wherever there's a little smoke, there's some fire. And honey, it might be some fire up in there. And so, and you know, a lot of people were saying Will was very boring and stuff. So if Jada needs to step out and, you know, get with her young guy.
But for August Alsina to kiss and tell, man, that's kind of that's a man law violation. songs. It was whack.
Yeah. Well, we don't. I mean, would y'all be upset if y'all wife stepped out and had an affair or something like that with somebody younger because they were just tired of being at home, being bored and stuff, and listening to
We
y'all?
don't know that's what happened. Yeah, we don't know what happened.
What'd you say?
If I go ahead.
And I don't.
Go ahead, Rick.
If I had somebody that got on my nerve, yeah, go be with somebody. Just be young.
You always say that.
Hey, them 2-3 days, you ain't got to worry about them.
Man, I had a relationship like that before. Look, if you want to go on a date, gone. Damn, gone. Watch my 600-pound life in peace. You won't be quiet. You keep sitting up here nagging and bothering me about stuff. I'm not the one to walk around the mall holding hands.
Well, that's good. I mean, you got to be a man.
You can't watch the show.
Right.
Walk through the mall holding the hand.
Right. I'm talking with
Like
the
y'all in high
fingers,
school.
with the not holding hand, but holding hand with the fingers.
Everybody
with the fingers in
doesn't
between.
have.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Eva?
I might keep going.
Doesn't have a traditional relationship, and it's okay.
Get your ass off the radio with that weak internet.
Well, I'm going to have a traditional relationship, honey. Ain't no way in hell you can sit here and play those games with me, but nevertheless, honey.
If your man would get on your nerve, you don't mind him going out with Larry.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't care. You know, would I? I don't know. No.
Oh, I gotta be Larry.
Like, Paul, this is Larry. Larry, this is Paul.
Float on too, Negro. But anyway.
What kind of car Larry drive, Rick? What kind of car Larry drive?
A Honda Civic, big, about 6'8", drive a Honda Civic.
Oh, that's a big queen there, honey. You can at least give me a damn Ford Falcon or something. But anyway, moving on to another celebrity news, y'all. It's announced, y'all. Tiffany Haddish made the announcement that she has thrown her hat in for presidency. They're saying that Tiffany Haddish said that, honey, Kanye West is going to do it.
Are they doing all this for attention?
Yeah. I'm sure she's just joking. I think
she got to be making fun of Kanye.
Yeah,
right.
The president of what?
Yeah, she is. She said something about Dave Chappelle being her running mate.
Oh my God, honey! Well, congratulations to Tiffany Haddish and her running for presidency. Yeah, and then my final story, y'all. Let's continue to pray, y'all, for rapper the guy that always in the news. Honey, let me get his name because I can't see.
Which one?
Plies, y'all. I don't know if y'all heard the shocking news. They're saying, y'all, that over the 4th of July weekend, rapper Plies' car was shot up, honey, in Atlanta.
What?
Yeah, they say Plies was on Edgewood Street, honey, in Atlanta on the 4th of July. And then, honey, it just happened, baby. Girl started his car with a firecracker or something, just started shooting up at him, honey. And everything is okay as of now. But it's crazy. I was hearing firecrackers sounding like guns, honey. I stayed in my damn apartment, not much I could get out anyway, but it was ridiculous. I don't like the 4th of July, honey, because people just be popping firecrackers and shoot. And like people said when we was growing up, those bullets come down.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. And it's sad because it's just been so many gun violence. An 8-year-old girl in Atlanta got killed. An 8-year-old kid at a Galleria Mall in Birmingham was killed. Kids caught up in the crossfire. And I wasn't going to even say nothing about this. I've been dealing with this all morning, sitting up here with butterflies in my stomach trying to do a show. You know, my youngest daughter was shot last night.
Who?
She's Aaron.
What?
She in the hospital right now.
No, what?
That's why I can't have focus, because I'm sitting up here trying to do the morning show and trying to book my flight to Houston
Aaron
to go and
was
see
shot?
about her. She was shot.
How's she doing?
Twice last night.
What?
She's fine. Yeah, she's fine. I'm just so angry right now. And I just made the video about the 8-year-old kid and my daughter going to Whataburger to get something to eat last night. And you know, I go to bed around about 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and I woke up to text message. I got to do the show. I came trying to focus, trying to do the show, and trying to figure out, because it ain't hardly any flights because of COVID. It's limited flights, so I got to fly to Dallas and then drive down to Houston because it was a 7-hour layover. But the fact that she's laying up in the hospital, I'm probably gonna have to go into surgery.
Oh my God!
She's just crying. She's crying. She's scared. I can't get to her, and I just hate it. You know what I'm saying? And all the stuff these people out here trying to do to fight for the rights of black people. This is no discredit to Black Lives Matter because I believe that and I'm with that movement 110%. And one has nothing to do with the other. But there are some criminals in our community that we need to do something about. They are out here, not just my daughter. Some kids didn't make it. That 8-year-old kid did not make it. I'm okay with my daughter.
Yeah.
She's going to be fine. But the 2 8-year-old kids in Atlanta, the 8-year-old boy in Birmingham, they mama got to go. I get the luxury of going to the hospital, even if they don't let me upstairs to see her waiting in the lobby, right? I get to wait in the lobby until the doctor comes down, and I get to text and talk to my daughter because I spoke to her this morning. She was crying and scared. But just think about all the parents. Forget me. Think about all the parents that got to go pick out a casket this morning.
Lord Jesus.
Yep. We bad, man. You get mad at us when old folks done retired. They done retired. They can't even sit on the front porch because of y'all ass. Walking back and forth, cussing all loud, alley with your shorts and your underwear, showing no respect for authority, will cuss an old person out. I don't understand it. And I just pray. I'm sitting up here a gunshot victim myself. And it has affected shot one of my kids. And I'm still up here fighting and praying for the rights of black people and all of the parents that had to bury their loved ones due to gun violence in our own community by our own people. It's absolutely disgusting.
Oh my God, Ricky.
Yeah, so if I, you can
tell that you're not all the way here. I could tell it was something on your skin.
Yeah, I could tell too.
We could feel it because you've been so quiet and stuff. And I'm like, something is going on. And I was gonna call you after this. Oh my God, I'm
so sorry to hear.
It's something because my daughter could have died if she was shot with a hollow point bullet. If that bullet would have hit her in the chest, she would have been dead.
Oh God, Ricky.
And I just hate it. I just hate it.
Love her. Send her our love, and we praying for her. That's so senseless. Going to get a burger. That just don't make no sense. Oh Lord.
So I just need everybody all over the country, and we all need to figure out what we're gonna do about things that's going on in our own community because those numbers are far worse than the ones that the police are doing. But I'm still with Black Lives Matter. I'm still with that movement, and you make it hard for people that's trying to do the right thing and trying to have rights for us. But look how we act and the things that we do to our own community.
Us.
You invalidate all the efforts and make our efforts feel irrelevant.
They don't care.
Absolutely. So I'm not going to even merge that argument just because I'm with it. I'm still with it. I'm still going to march. I'm still going to protest. I still believe in everything that they're doing and what they stand for. But we got to have a whole nother conversation after we get finished with this and get some of the things. And after this election, it got to be a real conversation because we get mad. And they always say you're talking down to black folks when you have to correct us. You're talking down to your people. You done made it big and you're talking down to people. But we continue to take the bullets and get affected and get robbed and get your house broke in and go through all of this stuff, but you can't say nothing or you get canceled or dragged on the internet for talking down to black folks. When you are a victim of crimes from your own people. All the people in Chicago that got shot. All the parents that got to sit in the ER. Now I'm one of them got to sit in the ER down in the lobby because you can't go upstairs. I got to do that today. And a flight to Dallas and drive 3.5 hours to Houston by myself. I don't care. I'm a man. But it's just what we got to do. We're just in the middle of a fight. So you're fighting us, and then you're fighting the police on the other end. So we're gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna keep it moving. God is still good. God is still in the blessing business. And I don't care if you don't pray for nobody else. Don't worry about me. My daughter is fine. But please pray for all of the parents whose kids was killed this weekend. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news. It's what's trending now.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 27 minutes after the hour. We got the one and only attorney Glennon 3 on with us this morning. Glennon, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky, and good morning to your radio audience.
Hey, man, thank you so much, Glennon, for coming on this morning. We were just having a conversation about crime and violence in our own community, and it's on the front page of CNN where it's been a crime spree, shooting sprees breaking out all over the country in our communities, from Chicago. Atlanta had an 8-year-old little girl that was killed. Little boy was shot and killed at the Galleria, while he was standing outside of a clothing store, with his mother or grandmother, from what I understand. And it's just been a lot of crimes and stuff, being committed with gunshot. Glennon, what's going on?
Well, Ricky, I was totally appalled. I've been practicing law for almost 35 years, and so it takes a lot to shock me. But when I heard about the shooting in Birmingham this weekend at the Galleria, imagine a crowded food court, 5 young men come in and get in a gunfight with another young man, and an 8-year-old boy is innocently killed with his family shopping for a July 4th outfit. The callous indifference and disregard for life that some people in our community are showing for others in our community is just unheard of, Ricky. You had 77 people that were shot in Chicago over the July 4th weekend, including several young children. And then that 8-year-old girl in Atlanta that was shot in the middle of her forehead and killed. And as I said to you earlier this weekend, in the past, there's been a conspiracy of silence among a lot of black leaders not to talk about this black-on-black violence. Ricky, we got to start talking about it, because this has got to stop. It is a devaluation of black lives, and these black lives matter in the same way that the black lives of people who are the victims of police violence matter as well.
Right. 8-year-old girl killed, 23 people hurt in Atlanta's violent 4th of July night as well. It's just crazy. A spate of shootings throughout the United States left more than 150 people wounded and nearly 24 dead. So far this weekend, including 67 gunshot victims, in Chicago, and that number went up. A blood-splattered weekend, according to reports, and then my daughter falls victim, gets in that number and gets shot last night. Glenn, I got to go to Houston. I don't know.
Ricky, I almost fell out of my chair this morning when I was prepping for the show and heard that happen to Erin. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine. But Glenn, how do we address situations like that in our own community? Because, if you say anything, you get beat up for talking down to folks. And, what do we do? Where do we start? How do we fix it?
Well, Ricky, I always say there's no simple solution to complex problems. I mean, these violence comes from a lot of different sources, but I think the first thing we have to do is condemn it as a group and as a society of people. We cannot tolerate this sort of violence. We have to stop it. A lot of it happens with parenting, but many of these people, like this young man in the Birmingham shooting, we don't know that he was poorly parented. I don't have any explanation for why people would open fire in a crowded food court over probably some ridiculous little beef that really didn't matter to much at all, Ricky. So some of the solution is education. Some of it is condemnation by us as a people, and some of it is just going to have to result in just law enforcement. So to try and prevent these sort of events before they occur, as opposed to waiting for them to happen and then trying to arrest people.
Do you think that by them cutting off programs and giving the kids something to do, like who are committing crime? What's the demographic of people that's shooting? The shooters, are they in their 20s? Are they teenagers? Or like it's so hard to get to where the problem is coming from, Well,
I think what troubles me more, Ricky, than the demographic of the shooters is the demographic of the victims. I mean, we had 8 children under the age of 14 that were killed this weekend. And so people used to think that if you were shot in a violent incident, it is because you were involved in drugs or you were involved in doing something you weren't supposed to do. But now you can be a completely innocent person in the line at the Whataburger in Houston, in the food court in Birmingham, Alabama, outside a convenience store in Atlanta or Chicago, and a stray bullet because of a beat that you know nothing about and have nothing to do with can kill you completely innocently and end your life at the whim of somebody that has a total disregard for their community and the lives of others. And that's what frightens people, Ricky, that you can be completely innocent and be a victim of random violence.
But Glenn, can I jump in here?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, let me ask you something. We said that we don't want to focus on the demographic of the shooter, but isn't there something that has to be considered about the mindset of so many young black men that feel like carrying a gun and taking out that gun in a public place, that where's the disconnect that they don't see where something is very, very wrong about that?
I think there is a cultural sociopathy, Kay, where these young men just don't care. I mean, they have no regard for their own lives, let alone the lives of others. Just think about what mentality you have to shoot in a food court in a mall.
That's what I'm saying, though. I mean,
I don't
at some level, you have to know that that's wrong.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from, Special K, because these guys, in the Birmingham incident at least, you had 5 guys come into the mall as a group, and it's like they were hunting somebody down, and it didn't matter to them that there were, many people surrounding, because the bullet don't have no name on it. And so I don't know what causes these young men to have this mentality. And so you're right, the demographic of the shooter does matter. And I will tell you this, that putting people in jail hasn't solved the problem. I mean, we incarcerate more people per capita than any other country in the world, and we have more gun violence.
Yeah, but one thing I heard an old pastor say a long time ago, that charity starts at home. And one of the things that I see a lot of people becoming friends with their kids. And I want everybody to know and understand, especially all of you young parents that's in your 20s and 30s, that parenting is not a popularity contest. You have to be willing and risk being disliked in your own household in order to maintain discipline and structure and let them know that who's the boss. Because I don't care about getting along with somebody that don't pay for anything. You understand? I was going in on my kids, just the other night in a group text, and I said what I said. I meant what I said. Now, y'all can get in your own group text and say whatever you want to say about me, but at the end of the day, I'm the boss, and I pay the cost to be the boss, and that's just what it is. Now, if you want to have a separate conversation, we can and ask any questions about what I said or whatever, that's fine, too, because they're all adults now. The youngest one is 19. So, it's just that I see a lot of it. And you can see it by the way kids address their parents. I hear kids call their parents by their first name. Hey, Lisa, what time we leaving? You know what I'm saying? That would have never been. I'd have got hit in the mouth if I called my mama or my grandmama by her first name. By the way some of the kids dress. You got little boys, got not 1 but 2 earrings. Mama kissing them all in the mouth, and they made them boys your little boyfriend. Got them a fresh haircut. Get the new Jordans every time. They come out and stuff, and then when they don't get what they want, then they'll turn around and they'll attack the mother. I've seen it with my own eyes, and we're just gonna have to if you don't know how to parent, or you feel like you a little too lax with your kid, man, you need to go get around some old people, and we reestablish discipline and structure in the home, because that's where a lot of this stuff stems from. Charity starts at home. Glenn, let everybody know how you can be reached.
You can reach me on Twitter at G3. Follow me and I'll follow you back. And everybody have a wonderful day, Ricky, and I'm going to be praying for Aaron.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, Glenn. Have a good day, man. We're going to be talking to Mark Morial about the state of Black America. Coming up next, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
To all the hard-working women and everyday super moms, we got a little something for you. It's Eva's Corner on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, top of the hour is about that time. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone. And it's time for Eva's Corner, talking all things womanhood, motherhood, and the juiciness in between. So, Ricky, this was inspired by you from last week because, weekly, my family, we do family dinners. And sometimes we take pictures or videos while we're doing our family dinner. Marley is our resident photographer and videographer. And I remember we were just chatting down the line and we were talking about how uncommon family dinner is on a regular regular. You know, growing up for me, and tell me about you guys too. And you, Rick, I know you grew up with very traditional grandparents and parents. Did you guys sit down at a table and have family dinner?
Yeah,
and not
we did.
just Sunday, right?
Yeah, every day. My grandfather blessed the food when he wasn't working. If not, my grandmother and I, we blessed the food. When it was my other grandmother and I, we blessed the food. My mother and my sister, we were living in Kingston Projects. We blessed the food and we ate dinner. Nobody got a plate and went upstairs. I went back to their room.
Right. Talk about it, Ricky.
Down at the table and eat together and learn table manners in the process.
Yeah, all of that. So this is my little bit for today. I know life is busy. It can get extremely busy, and taking time out for family dinner, it's become kind of a lost art. You find it hard to do. You don't find the time in the day to do it. But as a little girl, like I said, we sat at a table nightly, and mind you, we were not rich. We ate breakfast for dinner, only realizing the only meat we had in the house was bacon. That's why we were eating breakfast for dinner, but we ate it together. We sat at the table. Our parents asked us about our day. We talked about our friends, our feelings, what we did like, what we didn't like, what our brothers might have done to us. And it allowed our parents to stay connected to us, to know what was going on in our lives. And what my parents also did, they're a lot like you, Ricky, because we were very fortunate growing up. Though we were not middle class or rich by any means, we also had a little bit more than maybe our neighbors. So my mom always made sure we invited over our friends whose parents worked late, and so they weren't home for dinner. So our friends would come and sit and have dinner with us. So when I talk about having a family dinner, everybody, I'm not talking about just your immediate blood. I'm talking about sitting down and fellowshipping with those that you love to get or gain counsel while you're sitting down. And it seems so simple, and it doesn't have to be just because it's Thanksgiving or just because it's Easter. You can pick some chicken up on the way and go one of your family members' house, and sit down and just break bread together. Seeing the disciples do that in a picture, that was very symbolic. Breaking bread is necessary. And Ricky, you highlighted that last week. And so I said, you know what? We need to talk about how we can sit down while Corona's going on and life is a lot more, and not as fast. And figure out how we can get Chef Boudreaux's delicious meals, quarantine cook, and the kids can help.
And sit spaced out and social distance.
Sit spaced out. Marley helps set the table. So if you have little kids, teach them how to set the table, where to put the forks, help them get we still make Kool-Aid in our house. Help make the pitcher of Kool-Aid. But whatever your thing is, try to now incorporate some family time. And if that's your uncle, your cousin, your brother, whoever, but sit down and fellowship and have family dinner beyond just Sunday dinner. That's my thing.
And make sure you put real lemon juice in the Kool-Aid. Stop playing with it.
Hold on. Do what, Ricky?
Put real lemon juice in the Kool-Aid and squeeze the lemon. And don't drop the lemon in there because it gets bitter after about 2 days. Don't drop the whole lemon in there. It look cute or whatever, but squeeze about 2 lemons in that damn tropical punch Kool-Aid mixed with lemonade.
See, I just put the lemon Kool-Aid with the red one, but you're supposed to put the lemon in it.
Yeah, you can squeeze some real lemon juice in there. Make that Kool-Aid real good.
And some real
Eat up my lemonade, my Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll make your Kool-Aid game tight and tangy and sweet and delicious, and you will get a good refreshing burp right after you drink that. All right, y'all give it up for Eva's Corner.
News headlines,
Entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, Rick Smiley Morning Show. 25 after the hour, y'all. The front page news is being brought to you by America's Best. That's right. Your health is our priority. America's Best contacts and eyeglasses stores are now open to safely serve your vision needs. It's not just a better deal. It's America's Best. News story. I just talked to my daughter's mother. She's being rushed into emergency surgery, and she's going to be fine. Just going to ask everybody to keep her lifted up in prayer. But after you get through, before you pray for that, you make sure you pray for the mothers that got to go to the funeral home this morning and make final arrangements for their children that was also caught up in violence all over the country this weekend. And make sure you pray hard for those families. or whatever. And I just sit here and just try to do the show because there's no flights right now. It's nothing I can do. It does nothing, and nobody in this house, in the house, no good for me to, because we broadcast from home right now because of coronavirus to not be on the air because a lot of people are going through much worse than what I'm going through. So I just have to think about others, and that's what this is. This is a service. And right when you're going through something, remember everything that you're going through, man, all of this is just a test. And sometimes God going to test your attitude to determine your altitude and see how you handle things. And we still have a show to do. If they had a flight available this morning, I would have been gone. But it's nothing we can do right now. But just stay prayed up, do the show, and get everything else figured out. But pray for everybody that's been affected by not only coronavirus, death, everybody that's been caught up in any type of violence, all the gunshot victims, and all the parents that had to bury kids. God bless you, and God bless your families. And I'm also praying for you. So there you go. Front page right now. What up, Eva?
What up, Ricky? That's definitely a part of this morning's news. I don't know how I'm going to get through this without a tear, but the 4th of July weekend brought a wave of gun violence across cities across the U.S. And unfortunately, many of these victims were children, you guys. So more than 67 people were shot in Chicago. 67, including a 14-year-old boy, a 7-year-old girl who was shot while she was just playing. A mom is dead after her family of 5 was shot in Detroit. An 8-year-old girl was shot while riding in a car with her mom in Atlanta. An 11-year-old boy was shot while running, Ricky, to get a phone charger in D.C. And also a little child in St. Louis remains in critical condition after being shot in the head. Y'all, we have to do better.
It's got to be a real conversation, man. Everybody, that's in the movement, we got to flush people like this out of our neighborhood. We got to confiscate, guns from these young people that's out here killing people, shooting in open public places, and innocent people getting killed. And a lot of these people just dying, these kids dying, these mothers got to bury their kids. Babies.
These babies.
It's absolutely sad. And
67 people in one city, Ricky. 67 people. That is, just to say the numbers and to read it, it's unreal.
Yeah, it's bad. While a pandemic going on.
Right. I got coronavirus news too.
Yeah, and while a movement is going on, and a justified protest is going on, or whatever, and I'm gonna put my Black Lives Matter shirt on, and I'm gonna fly to Houston today because I still support the movement, and I'm not gonna mix up the messages, but we're gonna have a conversation about all of this stuff after the movement, and I.
Will you put a little bit of this coronavirus update?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alrighty, so in coronavirus news, the U.S. now ranks up with Brazil and India as having the highest in the world and fastest growing number of COVID-19 cases. But during July 4th speech, President Trump, y'all's number 45, again downplayed the virus, falsely claiming that 99% of the cases are totally harmless. Hospitalizations for the coronavirus are up in 5 states, including Arizona, California, South Carolina, Nevada, and Texas, where some hospitals have literally hit capacity. It's also being announced over the weekend that Donald Trump's Jr.'s girlfriend has contracted the coronavirus. Now, many Republican officials may have been exposed. Trump also plans to hold another rally this weekend in New Hampshire. We will see how that goes. And last, you might have seen this viral video of 2 white people painting over the Black Lives Matter's street mural in California. Police are now looking into the Trump supporters, the man and the woman who were defacing and vandalizing it. But it was just absolutely disgusting. Did you guys check out that video this weekend?
Yeah, I saw it. Why didn't nobody kick their ass? They wouldn't have did that at Miles College.
Right.
When they did,
Okay, you know what to do with it.
You wouldn't have went on campus in Miles College. I went to Birmingham on the south side or in D.C. and did it there. They cowards. They do stuff where they know they can do it, but you wouldn't have came on Miles College campus and went out there with that paintbrush, you would have got ran over. Like, for real.
Well, that's what I got for you in the news. Rocky, tell me you got something juicy in sports, my brother.
Well, let's talk about President Donald Trump continued, man. It's just a matter of time. There's been a Trump 2020 NASCAR that raced in the Brickyard 400. And ironically, 16 laps in, guess what happened? It crashed. Thank God nobody got injured, but the Trump 2020 car in the NASCAR race at the Brickyard 400 crashed 16 laps in. I knew that was going to happen after, of course, the Black Lives Matter car and our boy Bubba Wallace or whatever. So it is what it is, man. Last but not least, man, I got some good news I want to go ahead and spread in the world of sports. 5-star high school basketball recruit McCord Maker was being expected to commit to UCLA. He was also being recruited by Kentucky and Memphis. And he made his official commitment to Howard University, man. Big time. This makes him the highest ranked college prospect to commit to an HBCU. So expect many more prospects to follow my man here, because it's going down real big. Ricky, you talk about it all the time. We always talk about it here on the show. As soon as our top prospect recruiting athletes start choosing HBCUs, that spotlight is going to shift to the same way the NCAA, the Division I schools out there got all the hot spotlights, because everybody want to get to the pros. Everybody want to get to the next level. So now this is the first step to make that happen. It's going to happen slowly but surely. So that big up to my man for doing that. There it is.
I appreciate it, Rocky.
Yes, indeed. He's got the hot spot right now.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and that's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, 27 before the top of the hour, y'all. What up, Brett?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brett Tat.
Brett, my bad. Your segment is being brought to you by Toyota Highlander. That's right. Don't go all the way out with the all-new Toyota Highlander featuring an all-new premium interior and available JBL audio system. Toyota. Let's go places. There you go.
Appreciate it, Rick. Well, y'all, let's get off into this hot spot. Miss Tina Lawson got something to say, and she went off on the critics who accused Beyonce of cultural appropriating African American culture because her upcoming Black is King visual album. She wrote on Instagram, "It's really sad that the women who shout the loudest protect the black woman, that they are the ones that are trying to tear her down. Sisters, wake up. Take an inventory of yourself and your hate. Beyonce is not your enemy." She said that Beyonce was taught to lift other women and not tear them down. She also said she minds her own business, does not criticize anyone, gives her time and money, and dedicates her art boldly to show the royalty and beauty of our heritage and journey. She said her work is to change the narrative, and she does not understand why people has these crazy things to say about her daughter. She said, "I got one question for you that I'm too confused about. How do you appropriate the black culture when you are black? She has a right to her heritage as well as anyone else in this world."
That's right.
That's right.
Super woke people. These super woke.
Yeah.
Super woke.
Extra. Doing too much.
No matter what you do or whatever, it ain't ever good enough for some people.
Right.
Beyonce don't bother nobody.
Yeah.
She don't ever criticize nobody. She's nice. She kind. She walk in the room. She hug everybody.
Right.
You know, I remember one time I went to church with them, and she drove herself to church, and we were sitting on the front row in the balcony. She came to church by herself, just humble and meek. And I just hate when people attack her, because she's not the one. She don't bother anybody.
Yep, I also agree with that. We're going to wrap up right there. That was a good way to end the hot spot. You think I'm your girl, huh?
I just get sensitive about her, because like, she is genuinely kind.
I know.
Genuinely.
I know.
You know, and to be as big as she is, the biggest star that we have.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Like that.
And she don't have to be like that. And then, Brett, you met her before. She is just awesome.
She is. She's a very sweet person. Very sweet person.
Well, we're going to always defend her on here. H-Town represent.
Absolutely. Well, coming up next, y'all, we got Chef Boudreaux with the quarantine cuisine, and we got that praise mixed down with the White Stone. Y'all, it's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, we're quarantine cooking with the one and only Chef Kurt Boudreaux.
What up, guys? How y'all doing?
What up?
Pimping, and more pimping. What up, boy?
Ain't nothing much, baby. What's going on in your world?
Man, I'm good, man. What you cooking, man?
Man, today I got some beef stew, man. I put this together, man. Just something with some real quick. I got some cube steak that I seasoned with some salt and pepper, onion, garlic.
You
powder.
use cube steak for some? Man, that sound good.
Well, actually, it's cubed up. It's not like the cube steak that they pat out cube.
Right.
It's just like the stew meat.
Okay.
And, yeah, for sure. So I seasoned it with some salt, pepper, onion, garlic powder, man, and some flour. Then I added that to my hot oil and browned it off. And then I added some beef stock, and cooked for about 45 minutes. Then I added my carrots, onion, celery, red potatoes, and threw a little peas in there, little corn. And I let that cook for about after I added that, I let that cook for about another 30 minutes. And for the last 15 minutes, I said, man, I was going to add some rice. But I said, nope, I'm going to sop this up with a biscuit. And threw some grains in there, boys. I baked off some grains. I said, I'm going to sop this up with a biscuit.
Hey, Kurt, whatever happened to the Hungry Jack biscuit with the letter? Hungry Jack. They gobble them down in the plate. Come back for 100.
Yeah, man, you bring it back.
I wasn't kind of feeling those. The grands would bring this over the top, man. Them butter biscuits.
Yeah, and you can't bake them too long because they get dry in your mouth. You have to drink a lot of water with them grands. Them grands big as hell. They're like some big ass KFC biscuits, big dry ass biscuits. Little pockets of flour be popping off in your mouth. You be breathing, smell like somebody think you smoking a cigarette with all that flour.
I can't do this morning with you, man. I can't do this morning with you, bro.
Kurt, how can they find your recipe, man?
Oh, man, they gonna find this recipe on Rickey Smiley Official. And follow your boy on Facebook at Boudreaux's Catering and on Instagram, Chef_Boudreaux1, baby.
There it is. Y'all give it up for Chef Kurt Boudreaux.
You know.
It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.